Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to do something a little bit unusual, but honestly, it is absolutely fascinating. We are taking a deep, microscopic look at a seemingly mundane 50-word piece of everyday internet text. Now, we literally breeze past this text millions of times a day without a second thought. But by freezing it, really breaking it down, we can actually uncover the hidden architecture of our digital lives. We're looking closely at the YouTube sign-in page. It's just a tiny patch of digital real estate for sure, but it speaks volumes about identity, security, and the silent contracts we implicitly agree to every single time we jump online. Okay, so let's dive right in. The very first thing that hits you, the primary, uncompromising directive at this gateway is sign in to continue to YouTube. Notice it doesn't say welcome, it doesn't say please, it simply states a condition. And that word continue is particularly powerful here. It implies momentum, you clicked a link, you wanted to watch a video, you were already on a journey, and bam, this page is the toll booth. The platform is essentially telling you that the ultimate personalized experience is locked behind a door, and this simple sentence is the bouncer asking to see your ID before you can take another step. Moving right along to Section 1, Navigating Digital Identity. So how does the platform actually verify who you are? Well, it gives you a brilliant binary choice for entry. Two distinct, deeply personal pieces of contact data, email or phone. In the physical world, your identity is verified by a driver's license or a passport. But in the digital ecosystem, your email address and your phone number are the global identifiers that link right back to a real, breathing human being. By asking for either an email or a phone number right out of the gate, the platform establishes that it doesn't just want some anonymous, made-up username, it absolutely requires a verified line of communication directly to you. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because the interface immediately anticipates human fallibility. Forgot email? We all know that sudden panic-inducing loss of our digital keys. Usually it's a password, right? But this prompt goes a massive step further. It anticipates that you might have forgotten your own digital name. It's a subtle acknowledgement by the system that, hey, we are all juggling multiple accounts, spam emails, work profiles, and messy personal lives. By placing this lifeline immediately below the input field, the platform makes sure that a momentary lapse in your own memory doesn't become a permanent barrier to entry. It's actually a tiny bit of empathy built right into the code. All right, that brings us to Section 2, Shared Computer Security. So what happens when you step outside the physical safety of your own personal devices? This simple question, not your computer, introduces instant tension regarding physical device security. Just reading that phrase probably evokes a specific memory for you. Sitting at a public library, using a friend's laptop, maybe typing on a sketchy hotel lobby kiosk. The system recognizes that the digital gateway isn't always accessed from the safe, cozy confines of your own smartphone. It actively prompts you to become hyper-aware of your physical surroundings and the inherent risks of leaving your digital footprint in a shared physical space. To resolve that tension, the text heavily contrasts your standard everyday persistent login with the ephemeral safety of a private session. The platform explicitly instructs you to use a private browsing window to sign in, and that is a profound shift in the user experience. A standard sign-in is designed to remember you, to keep you logged in for days or weeks so you don't have to repeat the whole shebang. But here, the gateway is offering a stealth mode. It's explicitly advising you on how to walk through the system without leaving a single trace, entirely protecting your viewing history, your data, and your account access from the very next person who sits down at that keyboard. But wait, it doesn't just offer an alternative, it provides a direct educational pathway. Via this prompt, learn more about using guest mode. This is such a fascinating design choice. The gateway literally pauses the sign-in process to act as your instructor. For folks who might not be super tech-savvy, who might not even know what a private browsing window is, the platform takes on the responsibility of teaching them. Why? Because an educated user leaving their account open on a public computer is a massive security vulnerability. Not just for the user, but for the platform's integrity as well. So educating the user here is practically a mutual defense mechanism. Let's move into Section 3, Expanding the Ecosystem. So, from protecting existing users, the text completely pivots to address folks who are currently locked out of the ecosystem entirely. Create account. This concise little phrase acts as the welcoming counterpoint to that rigid sign-in command. If sign-in is the toll booth for existing citizens, then create account is the immigration office. It offers a direct pathway to birth a brand new digital identity on the platform. It sits quietly at the bottom, just an open invitation to anyone who has hit this wall and realized, well, they don't have the required keys. It's the engine of growth for the entire platform, distilled down into two highly actionable words. And finally, we hit Section 4, the legal foundation. We reach the absolute footer of the text block, which grounds this entire lightweight interaction in a strict legal and supportive architecture. The platform presents a foundational trio of links: help, privacy, and terms. Look, let's be honest, we usually just completely ignore these, right? But they sit at the very base of the gateway for a reason. They silently dictate the rules of engagement, user rights, and available assistance for anyone interacting with the page. Terms is the contract you're bound by. Privacy details the exact fate of that email and phone number you just typed in. And help is basically the customer service desk. Together, they form the absolute legal bedrock that allows the rest of this 50-word page to function in the real world. If we actually peer into the source text, it is fascinating to see how this builds into the platform's actual back-end infrastructure. These foundational links, along with that guest mode link, don't just point to some random page. They link directly back to a centralized Google Accounts support system, complete with an HL=EN tag. Now, this tiny piece of code tells us two huge things. First, the platform already knows we're speaking English. Second, it reveals that YouTube's gateway isn't actually a standalone door at all. It's deeply integrated into a massive, centralized parent company security apparatus. Every single click for help, privacy, or terms is routed straight through the central nervous system. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this one thought. The next time you see these 50 words, are you going to just blindly click through? Or will you actually recognize the profound digital contract you're entering into? We've taken a few moments today to slow down and really look at the massive security, identity, and legal frameworks sitting quietly right beneath your cursor every single day. The next time you hit a gateway like this, take a second, truly look at the text. Because understanding these small digital checkpoints is the very first step in actually owning your digital identity. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Keep questioning the details and keep learning.